You realize that today is officially Go Fishing Day.
So let's do it. We talked about what you might need to go fishing, but we actually want to see us do it live right now. You can do that with Chance, Patrick, and Michelle. They're in the boat. How's it going?
Well, we're back here, and Chance is going to show us what it takes to actually catch some fish when we go out. Hopefully everybody, takes the opportunity today. It is a beautiful day. Don't get scared away by the heat. That's what trees are for, shade. It really is going to be a gorgeous day to get out and fish. Chance, I know I'm a simple fishing pole gal, Zebco 33 with a night crawler on the end, simple hook, but you say there's better ways to kind of rig your pole to maybe up my chances of catching some fish.
Well, I like to look at my area and see what we're working with. Obviously, we have a little bit of moss buildup around the edges here, so we're going to think weedless.
Okay.
I always set two different poles up, one for weedless and one for getting out in the middle. So where I have a MEP spinner, I'm going to go to the cleaner, less moss water.
Okay.
You are set up with a weedless hook.
You have a hook on here that I would never use. It looks big. It looks like for ocean fishing.
We're going for big fish.
I use just the, the number 4.
That's why I wore my lucky hat, my lucky glasses.
I was going to comment on the get up. You switched gears on me here as we got out. Is this up your chances of catching fish?
You kind of jabbed me a couple times like you were going to catch the big fish, so I had to get serious and get my lucky hat, my lucky glasses.
All right.
And I'm going for the big fish today.
Okay, so you have me set up here with the weedless version, and it's kind of, you've got the tip of the hook embedded into the worm. This worm, and I'm using an artificial worm.
Yeah,
is that what you call it?
Yeah, we're using a plastic. Okay. Is what we call them. So when we say it's weedless, you're still going to get weeds. So you're going to let this one kind of go out and settle, and then you're going to bounce it off the bottom and wait for that strike.
Okay.
To where I'm going more aggressive. Because I want to catch this big fish, I'm going to be doing a lot of casting and reeling on the outer areas of you and not trying to get in the weeds, and I'm going to try to stay out of that.
Because I try to fish, and I think those fish are usually swimming around in the
They're looking
moss
for the bait
and
fish,
underneath,
yeah.
right? And it's hard to get them when all the weeds and the moss is around there.
So you're hopefully going to lay this on top of the moss under the water, and you're going to bounce it off and kind of simulate kind of a striking action of a distressed small fish.
Okay.
And then hopefully the big one hits.
Do you want to look for like brush area, like a tree that's fallen, there's some branches, and then you get the chances of getting hung up on the branches, which is a whole nother. But I mean, what do you look?
Structure.
Structure.
Structure. Okay. So when I look up and down these banks right now, I see a heavy sun moss. And then over here I see trees out in the water with an overhang of trees, which is shade, so that big bass might lay up underneath that shade. So it's all about taking the risk and maybe trying to pitch up in there and just kind of working your worm.
Okay.
So I'm going to go more to the deeper water, and I did already catch a fish, so I'm already ahead.
Yeah, you did. He did. He caught a bass. It wasn't huge, but it counts.
So we're up 1. But that's what it's about,
But do you want to fish in,
you know what?
in the sun? Do you want to look for the shade? See, look at it. I'm all
You might want to look next to you, because now we're 2 on the board.
Ah, look at you. Good job.
I'm taking more of the aggressive.
See, you didn't need to be worried about me putting you on the spot. You backed it up, my friend.
It's because I put my lucky glasses on.
All right, now I don't like to get shown up.
Okay. So, and that's the thing is, if you don't catch one within a few bites, switch up your tackle. Try different things. Okay. So
I'm a diehard, so
I like a night crawler, a bobber, and a lawn chair.
So I want to keep this more towards the surface. I let it drop down.
Let it drop.
Then, okay, all right.
So you're gonna.
But you had something, you were hopping along the moss.
Yeah, the frog or a mouse is really good on moss because it stays on top, and you kind of just hop it along the top like a mouse trying to get off the water.
Okay.
And then those bass will come up through that moss and go after the strike.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna try different things.
So the fish are never out in the, I'm like, oh, clear water's out there. Sometimes I toss it out there. I've never caught one out in the middle.
You wanna go kind of what fish you're going after. So those bass, the bluegill are gonna be up in the shallows. Now your big catfish will be laying out on the bottom, or they might be up in the shallows. It just kind of depends on the heat, how hungry they are. I've caught a lot of big catfish out in the middle where you're not gonna catch a bluegill out there laying with a big predator.
Okay.
So you just kind of go after them different areas and see what happens. So I just had another really good bite.
You did?
So,
all right, you got your back to everybody there. So
I'm kind of feeling.
I know you found your spot. I know you found your spot, but
I'm gonna catch one in the next cast. I just have that feeling.
Go over here. I think I had a nibble, and then you were talking. It's hard to fish and talk and.
It happens. We're fishing. I'm in my element. This is my office. I love it.
And it doesn't, like, talk about setup for fish. It doesn't have to be real expensive. I mean,
No,
I buy
not at
really
all.
inexpensive poles. They last a long time. They work beautifully. They're easy to run for kids, too. Do you recommend kids having a smaller pole that's suited to them than a longer, like my 6-year-old has a little trouble navigating some of the longer poles?
So the pole that you have right now is a perfect setup. Zebco 33 with like a 6-foot medium rod is going to be an all-around good pole. You don't want to start with something too small because they won't be able to cast as easy. You just want to get them a basic fishing pole.
Okay.
It's all about good line and keeping everything fresh on it, because sometimes bad line can really discourage you.
Oh, I've been out and then it breaks.
It breaks.
So do you recommend like 10 pound?
No, 10 pounds way heavy. That's people kind of underestimate line, so I like a 6 to an 8 pound. Just
all right.
8 pound on the heavy side.
I go out thinking I'm really going to catch some big fish.
Well, you have
and
to
then
always
I'm ready for it.
plan to catch the big fish. I'm set up today to catch state record. That's what it's about. It's just, you know, I go to catch fish, but I also just go to relax to enjoy nature.
So when you go to these public waterways, is there any places you can't go?
It just depends. You know, some private farm ponds, you're not allowed to go on.
We have to ask permission.
You have to ask permission and respect the choice of the owner.
Okay.
Don't.
But now you made a good point. I didn't know this because I have people that come and, you know, we fish, but even if you go to a private pond, if you're not the owner of the pond, you still need a license.
You need a license, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize that, and they think since they're on a pond that they don't have to have one, but they do. I just recommend people always to buy one no matter where they're going. It helps support nature and all the natural resources we have here in Iowa.
And you know, it's a great activity, gets you outside, you're in nature, good thing for kids to do with their parents, and you really can't screw it up, right?
No. You know, and if there was a way, I would have already done it. You know, it's just about being outdoors and enjoying and seeing the different things. You know, when I first got here, I'm looking around. I'm not even looking at the waterways yet. I'm just kind of taking in what's my surroundings, you know, looking for different signs of animals. That's what it's about. It's just exploring and seeing new things. People don't realize how much there is out here.
Well, I don't know whether we're going to catch enough to do dinner here today, but we've got a good start, and hopefully Lou and Jackie, you get out there, maybe toss your pole in the water. I'll bring some poles back to the station for you, so there's no excuse.
I still have a lot of free poles I'm giving away.
All right, he's got free poles he's giving away. This is Chance Patrick with Iowa's Great Outdoors. Catch him on Facebook, and if you have any questions on where to go, how to rig up, he's your man. He'll set you up. Lou and Jackie, it's all yours.
All right, go fishing day, folks. It is